just want to mention briefly concerning the discussion we had yesterday, Amir, about which Shabbos this was, the event that happened with the Mekoshesh Eitzim, the one that gathered the wood. Vayimtzu ish Mekoshesh Eitzim b'yom Shabbos. Which Shabbos? So the Rebbe says, at the tail end of the Maimer, that there are two opinions. One opinion is that the event took place before the giving of the Torah, and another opinion is that it was after the giving of the Torah. In fact, just to elaborate a bit more, the question is it an event that happened at the end of the 40 years? Or is it an event that happened in the beginning of the 40 years? If it happened at the end of the 40 years, according to the opinion, it happened at the end of the 40 years. It's the end of the 40 years before the Jewish people went into Eretz Yisrael. According to the opinion that it happened at the beginning of the 40 years, there are actually two opinions. Rashi on the Pasuk says, Vayihiyu Bnei Yisroel Bamidbar Vayimtzu. So it says Rashi that the Torah over here talks about, highlights or mentions, in other words, the verse this highlights the it's a negative aspect concerning the Jewish people. Bignuson shel Yisroel. Why? That they kept only one Shabbos, and the second Shabbos they desecrated. Which is the first Shabbos? So, of course, the commandment to keep Shabbos as we know it is in the Ten Commandments, in the Aseret Dibros. Zachos Yom Shabbos L'Katra. You should remember the day of Shabbos to keep it holy. So it would seem that the first Shabbos would be the Shabbos after Matan Torah, the Shabbos after giving the Torah. But there are those that question that, because it says in the Pasuk, Vayihiyu, they brought him El Moshe ve'el Aaron, El Moshe ve'el Aaron, they brought him to Moshe and Aaron to ask him what's the din, what's the halacha, what do we do with a person like this? Where was Moshe on the second Shabbos? On Har Sinai. So how could they have brought him to Moshe and Aaron? Yeah. So there's a whole discussion about it. So if they kept him waiting until Moshe came back, it's a whole discussion. The Rebbe, not only in this Maimer, but also in the Likutei Sichos, Chelek Ches, I believe it is. Yes, on Parsha Shlach, in one of the Sichos, where the Rebbe discusses this episode, he says clearly that according to Pshuto Shel Mikra, according to the simple interpretation of the Pasuk, the event happened before Matan Torah, before the giving of the Torah. He doesn't go into the whole discussion. There's other sichos in Tov Shechav Ches and Parshas Veschanon and Ekev, where the Rebbe also discusses this subject. But the Rebbe seems to, accept that in the simple interpretation of the pasuk, it happened before Matan Torah, based on the fact that, as we know, as mentioned yesterday, that when the Yidden were in Moro, when the Bnei Yisroel were in Moro, which was before the Matan Torah, Sham Sam Loi Chayk Mishpat V'Sham Nisahu, that there are a number of dinim, mitzvahs and halachas that were given to the Bnei Yisrael before Matan Torah, one of them being Shabbos. According to those that say that it happened after Matan Torah, they say that the Shabbos before Matan Torah wasn't a full Shabbos or wasn't a full commandment, because before Matan Torah, according to those opinions, Bnei Yisrael had a din. They were categorized as Bnei Noach. So in addition to the Sheva Mitzvahs Bnei Noach, the 7 Noahide laws that the Bnei Yisrael kept before, they had some additional ones before Matan Torah. But as Jews, as Bnei Yisrael, with the full force and veracity of the commandments, that happened after Matan Torah. But I just wanted to mention that because we had that discussion. But clearly the Rebbe says here, and as mentioned before in the other places, that according to the simple interpretation of the Pasuk, and according to the simple interpretation of Rashi on the Pasuk, on the verse, it happened before Matan Torah. It's a whole long discussion because there are other factors involved, but I just thought I would mention this as a l'shleimut ha'inyan, just so that we get a wholesome picture.